What's up, everybody? Just got a phone call from Greg Drown at the Tackle Box. He just got a Curado DC in yesterday. I've never had the ability to have one in my hands or use one, so I'm headed up there right now to do my review on one. First look at the Curado DC as of my opinion. We're gonna look at it, we're gonna use it. They have one spooled up with some braid and stuff, so we're gonna go check her out. So let's see what happens with the brand new Shimano Curado DC. Alright guys, here it is. The very first look at the Shimano Curado DC. DC stands for Digital Control Braking System. It's going to be a game changer. Here's my review. Alright guys, here at the Tackle Box in South Point, Ohio. I'm very excited about this brand new Curado DC that they've got in up here. This is one of the first dealerships in the country to have these things. This is the Shimano Curado DC. DC stands for Digital Control. One of the cool things about this reel is it has a micro processor in here that actually, when you cast it, the spool generates electricity and powers that spool, or powers that braking system. So on the side of it here, there are 4 different options here. You're probably not gonna be able to see that. It goes from 4 all the way to open. 4 is totally hands-free casting. So I have a ½ ounce weight on here right now. One thing that I want you to mention that Greg told me a second ago, there's no adjustments on these things. What you do is when you get it from the factory, once you spool it up, you move the spool back and forth. If there's play or slop in it, you tighten the spool tension brake on the side until there's no slop. Good to go. 65-pound test braid, ½ ounce rattle trap. It's on 4, hands-free. So you can see, I never thumbed it one time, threw that ½ ounce out there as far as I could with on the 4 with hands-free, no backlash. Try this again. I'm going to show you here. It is on 4 there. So again, no adjustments, on 4, ½ ounce rattle trap. My hand's totally off the reel. You can see, 0 backlash. I never touched it one time, you saw it. So here's the impressive thing. Here's a ½ ounce weight. This is an 1/8 ounce jig head with a small little jig or small little creature bait on it. Putting it on here, same deal. Not adjusting the reel, still on 4. So you can see there, 0 backlash, no adjustments, no nothing. It's on 4, means hands-free. You can throw this thing a mile, never touch the reel. One of the biggest benefits I think that you're going to see from this reel is beginners who have never thrown a bait caster before. They can grab this thing, cast it the very first time. They're not going to backlash it. They're not going to get a big bird's nest. It's going to make sure that they can actually cast this thing. Here's another thing that this thing's going to be good for. Those of you guys that are pitching and flipping all day long, put this thing on 4 and you don't have to worry about backlash. Is it impossible to backlash this thing? No. If you really try hard enough, you could backlash this, but it is theoretically impossible if you're doing it right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to that ½ ounce weight, and I'm gonna put it on 3. And just a disclaimer, I've never casted this thing on 3 at all, so I'm gonna try not to hit those houses over there. So again, to adjust this thing, one thing you're gonna do is you're gonna adjust this knob from 4 to 3. And again, it goes 4, 3, 2, 1, and then open. As far as I understand, the open means that it's not affecting, the brake's not affecting it at all. Still probably has to affect it a little bit, but we're gonna turn it up to 3. There's a good probably 30 feet difference, and I didn't even try to whip it. All right, so that sign right there, the dollar, that old Family Dollar sign, is probably, I don't know, a good 50 yards from here, probably closer to 60. Let's let this truck pass by. Put it through his window, he wouldn't like it too well. So on 3, we have, it's probably, I don't know, 10 feet from that sign, which is pretty crazy. So again, guys, what makes the Curado DC so amazing is that it has a digital, the DC stands for digital control braking. What happens is there's a microcomputer in here, basically a microprocessor. As the spool spins, it actually generates its own electricity, so there's no battery. You don't have to worry about that. It is water resistant, so you're not gonna have to worry about it, you know, going bad over years. They've been using this technology in Japan for years and just ported it over in the USA market, which I'm really excited about. But there's no risk of this thing going bad. It generates its own electricity. There's no batteries to get corroded, and there's no batteries to actually get, you know, have to replace or anything. So that's one thing that you don't have to worry about. Another thing that you're gonna see about this, you think about the Curado DC, you're like, wow, this thing's gonna be a $500 to $1,000 rod or $500,000 reel. That's not right. This thing is actually priced to sell at $249. Again, the tackle box here in South Point, Ohio are the first people to have these things, one of the first dealers. Definitely come out here and get your hands on one. You're not gonna be disappointed. They have one right here. You can actually come and cast this thing for yourself to see that this is not a ploy or a gimmick. This actually is a real life video that I'm shooting here today. But the DC braking is something that is gonna be a game changer for Shimano. It does have, you know, a lot of benefits. We were looking at there the other day, or just a second ago. There's no way to take the side cover off. I don't know if that's, you know, to clean them or whatever. You read the manual, I don't know anything about that. But this thing is a 7.4 to 1 gear ratio, 150 HG, Curado DC. Definitely gonna be a game changer for Shimano. Come out here to the tackle box in South Point, Ohio to get your hands on one. Guys, so my first impression of this reel is that it's crazy. I will definitely own several of these things. The number 4 setting is totally hands-free. It means you can throw that thing, not even touch it. You saw that on the previous video there, in the video before that. But these things come in a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio, 7.4 to 1 gear ratio, and 8.5 to 1 gear ratio. So they pretty much have anything that you need as far as applications go. Curado DC is going to be a game changer for Shimano. It's one of those deals where if you've never thrown a bait caster in your life, you can throw your hands around this thing and cast it, and you don't have to worry about backlash. Again, this thing's pulled up a 65-pound Power Pro braid. We're throwing a 1/2 ounce. You saw that I switched to the 1/8 ounce jig head, and I casted it just the same, which is pretty amazing. So again, guys, come up here to the tackle box, get your hands on one of these things. I promise you'll walk out here with one.